Alright guys, I am back with my review of this week's TNA Impact Wrestling for July 12th, 2012. Pretty good show tonight. If you watch the show, you know by now that the Mystery Men have attacked everyone, or at least Hogan and Sting, who wanted to take it old school. And it's crazy, it's a crazy angle, but I have to admit, I am intrigued by this. Especially now that there's like 10 of these guys. So yes, I am actually interested in seeing who these guys are and why they're attacking Sting and Hogan. So it worked. The cliffhanger sucked me in. I enjoyed this, and I thought overall the entire show was pretty good tonight. Obviously, I'm not going to be into the whole AJ Styles, Claire stuff. I can't believe they're still going with this, but whatever. It wasn't that bad tonight. And I thought it started off great. The show opens up. Well, I should mention that they're doing this Impact Rewind thing. If you remember, I think in 2010 they had a, what was it called, Explosion or something that would come on after Impact. And it was kind of like a bunch of promos and backstage segments. And it would come on after Impact, and I think Rewind is supposed to be like the same thing. It comes on at 7. And I heard it's a way to try and get people to watch the show at 8 because some people still aren't tuning in at 8. So I'm not exactly sure like if that's going to help TNA or not. I personally don't watch it. I don't care. I did watch Explosion back in 2010, but I just don't really care about this. So they recap Austin Aries winning the belt, and then the show opens with Bully Ray versus Joseph Park. This was actually a great opener. We got blood. It was hardcore. I enjoyed this a lot. Bully has his restraining order against Abyss, so Abyss cannot interfere. Bully spits in Park's face. He bullies him around. He brings in some trash cans, chairs, weapons. Bully attacks Park before he can use the chair. And he lays him out with, I think, a street sign. And Bully goes and he brings in a bag of thumbtacks. Now, I was thinking, Joseph Park, I mean, he is Abyss. Abyss always takes the thumbtack spot. And I was surprised that Bully actually took the spot here. So that was cool. He took the thumbtack bump. However, it's not enough to keep him down. He hits Joe Parks with the chain, gets the win. Afterwards, he's about to attack Park with a Singapore cane. Park looks at his forehead. He sees his own blood. He freaks out, and he hits Bully with the black hole slam. And then he looks up and he's like, what happened? What just happened? I don't know where they're going with this. I mean, I guess he can't be Abyss because Abyss has been out there at the same time, but maybe something about his bloodline or I don't know. It's crazy, but I thought it was a good opening segment. Afterwards, Bully Ray is cutting a promo and he's just asking, who was that? I beat Joe Parks. I've wrestled Abyss. Who was that? Then we get Samoa Joe versus RVD in the Bound for Glory series. Joe goes to put RVD in a submission hold. RVD gets him in a small package, gets the win. RVD gets 7 points. I was very disappointed with this. They did such a great job having Joe beat Kurt Angle clean at the pay-per-view, and now he's losing to RVD. I know that they're trying to disperse points evenly, so there's more suspense for Bound for Glory series, but this was just kind of just took the wind out of my sails as far as them pushing Samoa Joe. So I was disappointed. And I was a huge RVD fan. I mean, I was a huge ECW fan. I loved RVD. The guy was an amazing wrestler. But it's time to let the younger guys go over. There's no need to push him anymore. I mean, I hate to say something like that, but it's the truth. His matches just don't do anything for me anymore. He can go out there and he can go, like the ladder match with Bobby Roode, that was good. But it's just a different time, if that makes sense. So I would have rather saw Samoa Joe go over here. Then we see earlier today that guy from the Wonder Years. He tries to talk to Claire. She just drives away. Hogan's pissed off at the Mystery Men. Kazarian and Christopher Daniels come out. Daniels brings out Claire Lynch to answer some questions. He starts talking about her sleeping with AJ, and AJ comes out. Did AJ come out to a new theme? I mean, how many theme songs has this guy had? It's like he changes every couple months. It's absurd. And they're usually not as good as the other themes, so I don't even see why they changed it. But he came out and I was like, is this a new theme song? It's just like different variations of the same song. I don't get it. It's stupid. So Daniel says that Claire has a secret. Claire freaks out and says AJ's the father of the baby. I believe the fans were chanting Jerry, Jerry, in reference to Jerry Springer, obviously. And backstage, AJ's freaking out on the Wonder Years guy. He tells him, I don't know if I'm the father. I don't know. He could be. So, I guess we're going to see a lot more of that. Then they have a Zima Ion video. He says jackasses can't run with racehorses. Pretty good Dakota Darsow promo on Zima and Jesse Sorensen, how he's pissed off at the way Zima's been talking about Jesse. They're good friends. So we get Zima versus Dakota Darsow. Zima wins with his Widow's Peak pancake. I thought it was an okay match. Afterwards, he snaps Dakota's arm as a message to Jesse Sorensen. He says Jesse needs to tell his friends how dangerous he is if he doesn't want to see any more of them get hurt. I don't see Jesse Sorensen coming back anytime soon. I would like to see him return. I'd like to see him be able to wrestle without, shortening his career or life. So I do want to see him come back, but since it's kind of up in the air when he is coming back, why are they building to a match? This guy could be out for another year. Why the hell are they building to this now? It doesn't make any sense. So I did have a problem with that. Austin Aries comes out. This is kind of his celebration. He's going to talk about how he won the belt. He says it was a great moment for him winning the title. It was a great moment for wrestling. And then he's been doing this thing where he tells the fans to be quiet. Maybe some of you are okay with this. I hate it. I hate it when he comes out and everybody's cheering and he says, shh, we get it, we get it. I can't hear myself talk. And he's supposed to be a babyface. That's just not, that doesn't work for me. That's way too arrogant, cocky type behavior there. And I'm pretty sure they're just doing this now. And there were times it looked like the crowd was silent and that other people, like TNA staff, were telling them, come on guys, make a lot of noise right now, this is live. And then Aries tells them to be quiet. What? Why? So many questions. All I want to say is I hate that. Quit telling the fans to shut up. If they want to chant for you, let them. So anyway, he says that he will lead wrestling into the next boom period. And he says that the TNA title is the most important and prestigious title in wrestling. Bobby Roode comes out acting like a serial killer. I kind of like this, and it's also kind of like cheesy, a little goofy the way he's acting. But Bobby Roode comes out, and he can't talk. He just says, you, all of this. And then he finally, after a long amount of time, spits out the word fluke. He thinks it was all a fluke. That was it. It took a very long amount of time to get to that. Backstage, Sting tells Hogan he's 150%. Devon comes in with Garrett Bischoff. He says that they have their back. Hogan says, we got this one. Soon as he said that, I was starting to ask myself, is Hogan behind this? Is Hogan going to turn heel again? And I guess, I don't know. I'm not even going to speculate. The way the show ended with the Mystery Men, I would say, okay, Hogan's not going to turn heel, but you never know. I mean, they could always come up with something for this. So, Hogan says, we got this. Then we see Madison Rayne promo on why she loves Hebner. Gail Kim versus Miss Tessmacher. Brooke Hogan's on commentary. This was actually a pretty good knockouts match. I like this. Gail works over the arm, so whenever Tessmacher hits her clothesline finish, she's slow to cover, and then Gail is able to get the ropes, and Tessmacher eventually does win the match with an elbow drop clean. The only thing I have to say about this was I know Tessmacher's kind of green, and it looked like Gail Kim got a little pissed off with some of those punches Tessmacher was throwing. Maybe I'm the only one that noticed this, but it looked like Tessmacher was throwing some hard punches, and Gail kind of gave her some receipts in there. I don't know. I just hate to see something like that, because Tessmacher, for God's sake, she's a Hooters girl. I mean, you got to kind of give her a little leeway here. It's not like she's a super wrestler or something. She's not Sarah Del Rey, for instance. And I don't know. But I thought the match was good. Backstage, Claire tells the cameraman she has proof that AJ's the father, and everyone will find out soon enough. Magnus promo about his ranking in Bound for Glory series. I think he's in 5th place. Then we get Mr. Anderson versus Kurt Angle for the Bound for Glory series. Angle kicks out of the mic check, which surprised the hell out of me, and he hits the Angle slam for the win. Angle gets 7 points. Afterwards, we see Angle's mouth is busted open. It's kind of bleeding a little bit. I didn't really care for this. I'm not saying it was a bad match. It's just Ken Anderson does nothing for me. I just don't care. I don't care about anything he's in. It just really doesn't matter to me. For a second, I thought he was going to win with the mic check, and Angle's lost 2 matches in a row now, and he may turn heel again, so I'm very thankful that didn't happen since he just turned face. However, Anderson has been on kind of a losing streak, but I know some other people said that Joe won against Angle at the pay-per-view, so now Angle's going to get his win back against Anderson, and that's what they did. So overall, I was fine with it. The less Anderson I have to see, the better, in my opinion. Backstage, Hogan and Sting are in Hogan's office. Sting has the baseball bat. Rude comes in. He says they need to talk. Hogan says he can get his rematch at Hardcore Justice. Rude wants Austin Aries now. So Hogan says, well, next week, open fight night, call him out. So that's going to be a match next week. Sting comes out to the ring with the bat. He calls out the Mystery Men. And he calls out his backup, Hulk Hogan. Hogan's music plays, and he doesn't show. So they play his music again. And again he doesn't show. So they play it a 3rd time. And then we hear screaming. And on the screen, we see Brooke Hogan running up to her father, telling the Mystery Men to get the fuck out of here. We see like 4 guys getting pushed out. And Hogan's bleeding. He's like, my leg. It's just my leg. It's just my... It's so goofy. And he is bleeding a little bit. And Brooke Hogan's screaming and freaking out. And back in the ring, Sting is watching all of this. And so he starts to make his way up the ramp. And then he gets attacked by like 7 guys. They beat the crap out of him. And the show goes off the air. Now, I don't know if this is the same guys who attacked Hogan. And then they just like circled around and attacked Sting. Or if the guys attacking Sting are more guys, which means there's a whole gang of these dudes. So I have no idea what exactly they're going to do with this, but I am intrigued by it, and I'm excited to see where they go with it. I'm thinking the Rock King promotion, I haven't heard anything about them getting a season 2, so they could have just said, screw it, we're paying these guys, let's bring all the good ones over. Chavo Guerrero, Jeff Jarrett, Chris Masters, Sanjay Dutt was one of them. Who else is over there? I don't know. But they had a lot of guys for the Rock King thing. And if I had to guess, it's those guys. But you never know. They're also trying to work with Chikara and maybe bring in some of their talent. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. I just hope it's not like really drawn out. I would kind of like to see a payoff relatively soon. But that's only if they're not delivering good stuff every week with this. And we hadn't really seen much from these guys before, so we'll have to see what happens. But overall, I like this week's Impact Wrestling. I thought they had a lot of great stuff on here. And even the Claire Lynch stuff with the whole baby didn't really bother me. I thought it was kind of funny tonight with the fans chanting Jerry and stuff like that. So overall, this was a good show. I liked this. So that's my review of this week's Impact Wrestling. Hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this week's show in the comments below, and thanks for watching.